Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Megan McCain, and Anna Navarro. Now, let's get things started.
We love you back.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. How old are you today?
I am 27 years old.
Oh, happy birthday. He's just high on life, the guy.
I know.
My goodness.
That's
so okay.
Come back every day.
So, you know, everybody's in a good mood, but I have to start with a sad thing, and then we'll move on, because there was a terrible thing that happened in New Zealand. Maybe you read about it. And our hearts are just broken over the act of terror that claimed 49 lives in 2 New Zealand mosques. 3 people are in custody right now, and keep watching ABC News as this story unfolds. It's just awful. It's scary. The whole world is a little scary right now, isn't
bigotry.
it? Yeah. Okay, so now you can get back to being happy again. I mean, we're sad for them, but what are we going to do? It's terrible. Here's politics. Most Republican senators stood by as Trump's Muslim ban took place, his gutting of environmental law and immigration policies that separated families at the border, put kids in cages. But it looks like there finally could be some turning. 12 GOP senators aligned with Democrats. Imagine that. To reject his emergency declaration for the border wall, Trump made it clear what he plans to do about it, tweeting, "Veto." Does he think that's a person from Italy, or does he veto?
I think he was trying to say veto.
With the hand emoji.
There's the alphabet right. So now what happens? He vetoes that, and now they have to have 2/3 to overthrow it, right? Override the veto in the whole Congress, right?
Well, right, in both houses, and they're probably not going to get there. The likelihood that they get there is very slim. This is being challenged in court, so we're probably going to see court action as it goes through the courts. You can explain that more. But look, to me, these 12 senators, I know a lot of them, were not aligning with Democrats. They were aligning with their principles and their convictions and their spines for once.
Yeah.
You know, they were remembering that this is not about being a rubber stamp for a president because he happens to be of your party, but rather being and behaving as an independent, co-equal branch of government. He is usurping the power of the legislative. Yeah. He is setting a bad precedent.
Well, the Congress is responsible for the purse strings. That's in the Constitution.
Exactly.
Right.
So they are basically giving up. I mean, people who are constitutional strict on Constitution, like Ben Sasse and Ted Cruz, are both saying, forget the Constitution, I'm sticking with this president. Why?
Well, they're up for re-election.
This highlights to me the worst part of politics. I think this represents the worst, because you're putting your election and your party before what you feel is best for this country. Tom Tillis is a perfect example of that in North Carolina. He wrote an op-ed just a few weeks ago saying that against this, saying that it was intellectually dishonest.
Yeah.
And then just fast forward to yesterday, he voted against it because he's up for re-election.
Wow.
So there are over 20, I believe, Republicans up for re-election in 2020. The only one that voted against this was Susan Collins.
Yeah. She's up for re-election.
She's up for re-election, so I give her a lot of kudos because either way, she's in Maine, which is
Maine, not Vermont,
which is not the most conservative state, but she could get flack for voting either direction on this. I wish I saw more Republicans that were up for re-election voting this way, because then it shows you care more about this country than it does about yourself and about political.
But what do you think they're scared? Are they scared just of that they're not going to get re-elected, or is there other fear? Are they afraid of Trump and his wrath and the fact that he calls people names
That
and
may
goes
be
after
part
them?
of it, but if you consider yourself a strict constitutionalist, then there is no way that you could vote in line with Trump, because the two can't coexist. But I think what may be interesting is when you look at this winding up in the courts, you know, you have these three separate but equal branches of government. And so the courts, I think, are going to look at the legislative intent behind this, because the legislative intent is really clear. You have the House, you have the Senate, and they're saying we don't agree with the executive branch. We don't agree with the president. And so what are the courts going to do with it, I think, is going to be very, very, very interesting.
I see.
And on the legal angle, there's a court action that's been started by an alliance of 20 states being led by
Yes,
Javier
yeah.
Becerra, the Attorney General
16
of
states.
California.
16
Yeah, but this is,
states.
by the way, this is what Trump
they
wants.
blocked.
Trump knew
they
from the
voted.
beginning that he would probably likely have to veto this. And with his base, he's thinking, this is exactly what I need to do to show them that I'm going to stand strong on the border, because now it will go to the courts. And we know that takes a long time. So this will go likely well into the 2020 race,
I
which
think that's
he
right.
sees as an advantage, I think, for himself politically.
I think that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
You have anything to say on this, Meg?
No, I agree with what Abby just said. That everybody's playing politics all the way around. I will say, when you're talking about people like Mike Lee and Rob Portman, they are strict constitutionalists. And Mike Lee, I would say, is probably, I mean, he was rumored to be up for the Supreme Court. He's one of the most, deeply dedicated to the Constitution of, I think, any politician
Is
probably
he a Tea
serving.
Party guy?
No, I would say sways more libertarian. But I'm just saying the question I wanted to pose to the table was, does this change your mind about Republicans now in any way? That there are 12 people.
I'm more hopeful that they'll start to see the light and start to really realize what's going on in the country.
Yeah, but you know what? Democrats, if this were reversed, I promise you, Democrats up for re-election would have, some of them would have voted, if this were under Barack Obama, would have voted
Maybe.
in favor.
You don't know that.
There
That's
was-
hypothetical.
no, because there's
You don't
politics
know.
on both sides.
But I think
though.
you don't know, though. You don't know that. It never happened before.
But I think that's why people get so cynical about politics, because of the inconsistencies of politicians depending who is in power. And so if you were against the executive actions and the emergency orders by Barack Obama, then you've got to be, hold the same convictions. And the same thing goes on both sides.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I also think what constitutes an emergency, we should maybe make a baseline for this, which I should think should be hurricanes, God forbid, terror attacks, things that are actual emergencies.
Well, that's the thing.
how is this
When a
an
Democrat
emergency?
is in power,
That
they could
is
say,
the point, is
have
that
one
if it's
more-
reversed.
have one more school shooting, and that'll be the end
You know
of
it's an emergency,
the
'cause
AR-15.
he's only played golf 5 times since declaring it instead of 12.
Yeah, right? How is it an emergency? That makes sense.
All right. Okay. What are we talking about when we come back? I can't read this. I mean, they're telling me what we're talking about. Oh, Whoopi's surprise visit. Yeah, she was here yesterday, and we had such fun with her. We'll be right back. Whoopi is still on the mend. We're hoping she'll be back here maybe next week. We'll see. Hurry back, Whoopi, and get back.
Central on ABC.
Still ahead, California Governor Gavin Newsom reveals why he made the controversial call to stop the death penalty in California. And it's Feel Good Friday on View Your Deal.
So I think that I have a little bit of bad feelings about how I set up and talked about that New Zealand tragedy. I think I sounded as though I was just like flippant about it, and I'm not. I'm very upset about it. It's just that in this job, it's hard to make these transitions. So if I came across a little brittle, it's only because, you guys are happy and a sad, terrible thing has happened. I really feel bad about it.
And you came in this morning irate about
I was
what happened.
horrified by it, and it's a white supremacist doing it again, and I worry about it in this country.
And look,
And the whole thing is terrible, but when you're sitting in this chair, you have to make that transition to something fun, and it's not easy to do, so.
Particularly on a Friday when all of you guys are so incredibly
And this guy's having a
happy,
birthday.
and he's,
I know.
right, so
And then
it's not easy.
Well, and I was upset this morning when we were talking because I dropped my son off on a service trip, an international service trip, and when we were driving to the airport, I was hearing about this, and so I came in visibly distressed because I can't believe that this is going on yet again, this bigotry and this hate and these shootings all over our world.
Yeah, it's
just
such a
unbelievable.
poignant reminder that we've got to condemn bigotry wherever it
Yeah.
raises its ugly head, because there is no creed, there is no nationality, there's no race that is immune from acts of
Well,
terror. And we've gotta-
especially New Zealand, when you think
Yeah,
about a
right.
place that's not on the top of your list of this to
Right.
happen, and it does. And to your point, it makes you realize every day you got to wake up, you got to be grateful for life. You know, we had Whoopi here yesterday.
Yeah.
Another reminder of just Megan reminds us all the time on the show. You know, don't take it for granted. But we also we're in this together. Whether you're in New Zealand, whether you're in any part of this
I know.
world, we care for you. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a heart or you don't care based on
And
the
I do
transition.
agree that bigotry has to be called out whenever you see it, however you see it. Agree. New Zealand in particular, guns are banned in New Zealand. So there's obviously conversations to be had
He found
regarding
one.
that as well. Yes, and it was obviously smuggled in or
Yeah.
caught on the black market. But I will say that I think it's easy sometimes to come in, and I agree with you, Joy. It's hard. There's a wonderful audience in front of us. 2 gentlemen from Prescott, Arizona, sitting right in the front. And we want to have a good time, and it's hard to make
Yeah.
the transition. So I completely understand
Well, thank
what
you.
happened.
Just the other thing is that there were, in mosques, a place of religious
Yeah.
worship, and I think that
Safest
also
place.
should be the safest place where you're worshiping.
I worry about the hatred, because a friend of mine said when you're consumed with hatred, you lose your conscience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I would agree
Well,
with
listen,
that.
somebody that goes into a, Tree of Life synagogue in Philadelphia or a mosque in New Zealand
church in
are,
Charleston.
are full of hatred, but are also, insane.
Okay, well, so we mentioned that yesterday. Shall I do it now? Whoopi, we had this backstage footage to show you. So she proved she still knows how to make an entrance, the girl, okay? She came in, she knocked us out of our seats. Whoopi Goldberg appears from her bed, and we were just like, we were shocked by her. We did not know that she was coming on the show.
was running like Ronald Reagan just walked in the door. Running towards her. I was like, Whoopi! Yes.
I actually haven't moved that fast my entire pregnancy.
I was worried you were going to labor.
But you know what? If there's one person that can make you feel that way, it's Whoopi Goldberg. She provides such a joy, and you guys all know this at this table, and she's been so missed, and only she could surprise us in that fashion.
I thought that particular part was so touching for all of us, because this is an entire team that you don't see behind the scenes in the control room, and everybody loves Whoopi, and everybody was emotional, crying. I mean,
I have to say, Whoopi is one of the most generous people I have ever met. She's like my aunts that I grew up with. You say to her, I like that bracelet. Here you go. They hand it to you. She's like,
Joy, I went to, she gave me a toilet seat today.
Really?
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Because I went to her house, and this woman has got toilets. I mean, these toilets, those
is really
toilets that
nice.
warm
They're
up.
toilet seats.
She gave me a toilet seat.
They're heated
It's sitting in
toilet
my-
seats. She actually has given me shoes, my children's shoes. She has this
How about
fabulous
a toilet seat? They'll always have a place
I
to
haven't
sit.
gotten a toilet seat from her, but I think for me,
I
what
gotta see if it's got a monogram.
was
though.
so incredible was the last time I saw her, she was really not doing well. And to see her walk in like that, it brought me to tears.
She's doing much better.
She's doing great.
We love you,
We're
Whoopi.
rooting for you. We'll be right back.
She was once the youngest self-made female billionaire.
If she had
And we welcome you back. So the fallout from the, we're doing this? Oh, we're doing this. I thought we were doing the bride. All right, I'm doing the bride.
Wait, just really quick. It is Australia that has banned guns, not New Zealand. It's my correction.
Australia bans
Australia
guns,
did,
not New Zealand. New
yes.
Zealand has guns.
Yes.
Okay, we got that straight. Okay, here we go. Let's do this one. I like this story better because it's common knowledge that you do not upstage the bride at her wedding, right?
Right.
But one bride, I don't know who she is, she was on Yahoo or someplace, she said that's exactly what happened to her. One of her bridesmaids was pregnant and kept sticking her belly out in every wedding photo.
What else are you supposed to do? It's sticking out anyway.
I know. Don't you think that you should say, I don't want to be a bridesmaid right now? I'm too busy. No? As the bride, I would say, look, it's enough with you. But
Wait, so you're telling me if you got married today,
yeah.
and I would be one of your bridesmaids,
Yeah, but
you would say, I'm not going to have you part of this time because
well,
you're so
I
pregnant.
feel as though the dress is not going to fit you. You're not going to fit.
No, it's like good luck. It's probably good luck.
It's good luck to upstage the bride.
No, to have a
God.
pregnant person in your wedding?
I'd make you look
Good
good.
luck.
I'd
That's
make
good
you
luck.
look
Well,
good.
from what century is that?
I don't know. It's so cute. I don't
I'm
know.
also not going to make it about me, like a photo shoot for for my baby. You know, there's a difference in like just
Because you could
standing
come
there.
out, you know, with like a Beyonce. Remember when she
Yeah.
had that like flowing thing? She was pregnant with the
I
twins.
could do
and
that,
was...
but I would never do that to you, Joy.
Yeah.
I would let you own
would
the
never
moment.
do that to you,
I would
Joy.
let you own it.
I don't know.
Abby couldn't come to my wedding because she was pregnant.
Yeah,
'cause
I
got
delivered a few days
married,
later.
like right when she was giving birth.
You know what the bride should do? She
So-
should show up when
You
the,
were
the-
invited,
I know.
I was.
and I didn't do bridesmaids, so.
I thought about you too. I was like, I don't want to, you know, but no, I actually delivered like 3 days after
Yeah.
we got married.
But what she should do, the bride, is show up when she's giving birth in her wedding gown. Go to the hospital like a bride.
sounds
How?
awful.
I know.
I'm not doing that, Abby.
No.
When you
That
give
sounds
birth.
awful.
Anna, you want to talk about your girlfriend Gloria?
Yes. So Gloria and Emilio Estefan, a couple of nights ago, got the Gershwin Prize for Popular Music. It's the first time a married couple gets it. It's the first time Latinos get it. I'm so proud of them. They are really what makes America great. They do so much for this community. They do so much for Miami, and they do so much for the world. So, felicidades, Gloria y Emilio.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Beautiful.
And they are a lovely, lovely couple.
Okay.
I hung out with them so much.
Did
at
you
the
have any
wedding, and
pregnant
they are
bridesmaids,
lovely.
Anna?
I'm old. All my best friends have shriveled ovaries just like me. we couldn't.
I thought they were going to show the picture of the mother who came all pizzazzed up. It's
What
like the
is
mother of the
happening in
bride.
this
Do you have
segment?
that picture handy? Where's that picture of the mother? Look at this. No, that's
called-
Gloria
that's called the
Estefan.
bride.
No, this
Mother.
is
Whose
like,
mother is that?
This is the mother of the
Where's
bride,
the bride?
suggested outfit.
Joy, that's
Yeah.
the mother of the bride.
Yeah.
If the bride is Wednesday
would-
Addams.
That would upstage a bride.
The Addams family.
More
Morticia.
That would upstage a
The
bride.
show is called Bridezilla, not Mother of Bridezilla, okay? What?
To say, would you rather a pregnant bridesmaid or your mother to wear that dress to the
A
wedding?
pregnant bridesmaid.
Yes,
I don't want to be humiliated by that.
Right?
No. Okay, we'll be right back.
Why did California Governor Gavin Newsom put a stop to the death penalty? And did he really say this to President Trump?
I just want to tell you, you're a great president, and you're one of the smartest people I've ever met. That's what he said.
Find out, because he's live on The View next.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is making headlines for his historic call to end the death penalty in his state, which has met with angry tweets from the White House. This comes on the heels of his threat to take Trump to court to stop a border wall in California. We have a lot to talk about with him, so please give a very warm welcome to California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Good energy. Good energy. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
You're even
Well,
tall in the chair.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's I can squeeze down.
So, Governor, let's talk politics. On Wednesday, you signed an executive order to impose a moratorium on the death penalty in California,
Yeah.
Essentially suspending it for the duration of your term as governor, which
Well,
is a very controversial move. Why did you decide to do
Look,
that?
we have more people on death row than any other state in the nation. We have more than anyone else in the Western Hemisphere. 737 people. Just put it in perspective, if you were me, I would be asked to sign off on one death every single day for 2+ years, one a week for 14 years, knowing that at least 4% of those 30+ people were innocent. We had a person 26 years on death row that was just exonerated last year. I can't in good conscience do that. I just can't do that.
I have to say, as a former prosecutor, I agree with your decision because I know how flawed the system is. And I believe that one innocent person going to death is just not worth it.
Yeah.
That being said, 53% of Californians voted against abolishing the death penalty in
right.
2016. And in fact, they also voted to speed up the process.
Yeah.
So what do you say to the people of your state who feel that your executive order is basically going against the will of the people?
The will of the people also allows for the governor to reprieve, to allow for a moratorium. I'm afforded, pursuant to the Constitution, the ability to make this determination, to make this decision. Look, I don't do this lightly. I don't do it flippantly. I have deep respect and admiration for people who have a different point of view. But at the end of the day, when I'm sitting there talking to my kids, I have 4 young kids, and my daughter says to me, you teach us not to kill. And yet, here I am, in a premeditated way, killing other people.
We can't do it.
On behalf of the state. I just can't do that.
What if the DNA proves that the person, a heinous criminal, has committed like child rape or assault?
Yeah.
I mean, something so horrible, and it matches in the DNA.
We don't rape someone that's raped. Why do we kill someone that's killed? Look, the bottom line is we can punish people. I'm not suggesting people that do things that are heinous and outrageous don't deserve to be punished. They absolutely do, but there's other ways to punish people
But what would you say
than to put them to death.
There's a difference in people just disagreeing with the policy and people that have lost someone they love because of a monster.
Yeah.
A serial killer, a mass shooter.
That's right.
I know you've probably had these conversations with family members. Speak to them right now, the parents, someone that said, my baby was now gone because of someone who is a complete monster, and now you're going to let them continue to live.
Yeah.
What do you say to that parent?
I had 12 of those instances in the last week. Nothing more difficult, nothing more painful than to try to put myself in the shoes of someone else. For the grace of God, go any of us to be in that position. Remarkably, though, I met a number of parents that said the following: you don't have the right in my daughter's name to take another life. You will not be doing this for our family. She said, you'll be doing this to our family. We are done with violence. We need to move on. And so good people have different points of view. It's difficult. Another parent said the opposite, said you have responsibility to eradicate evil.
But what do you tell the parent, though, that still disagrees? Says, I don't have closure.
What do you say to the one that says you have to eradicate evil?
I literally said there's nothing I can do to bring your child back. There's nothing I can say to change your point of view. The fact is, though, I'm entrusted to do something much broader than just address one individual case. I've got to address a system that is race-based system of tremendous injustice for black and brown people. It's just a fact. Look, I mean, you've heard this before, but it's the truth. And it goes deep to the issues that we've been debating and you guys have been talking about here as it relates to what's going on with wealth and privilege as it relates to admissions in colleges. The fact is, you're better off in this country, you've heard this before, of being rich and guilty. You're treated better if you're rich and guilty than if you're poor and innocent in the criminal justice system. It's really true.
There's no question about that.
And Paul Manafort, all of this. And so, look, we've had 164 people that have been on death row that have been exonerated. 164.
Just in the state of California.
No, in this country.
In the country?
In just this country since 1973. The fact is, there are literally hundreds of people on death row right now that are there for crimes they did not commit. And again, it's not an intellectual conversation. I have to sign off on that execution. And in an effort to do that, you have to dig deep. And this becomes a moral issue, it's a very emotional issue, and it's very, to have you spot on to be able to look at someone, the victim family, that says, I need this for closure and not provide that. This is tough.
Can we talk about another issue which disproportionately affects your state, which is immigration? When Donald Trump declared a national emergency over the border, you withdrew the National Guard, the California National Guard, and you said to him, we'll see you in court, which I think it has, in fact, already begun to happen. So what do we do about the border? As a border state, what is the solution, do you think?
Well, let me just say this. I pulled the National Guard because I didn't want to be part of this political theater. I pulled the National Guard because we do not have a national emergency. I pulled the National Guard because I wanted to push back against Trump, as we have 47 lawsuits against the Trump administration. Not because we wake up every morning choosing to advance those suits, but because we stand up for our principles and our values. I represent the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. We practice pluralism.
You do.
We're a universal state, and I want to have the backs of the citizens of my state, and I want to put a human face on this issue. And the human face, for me, are those asylum seekers coming here legally, through the ports of entry, legally coming in with their children, that seek nothing more than the things we take for granted in this country. And I'm not going to step over them on the streets and sidewalks. I'm not going to diminish them by talking down to them or past to them. I want to elevate the human spirit. That's what California represents, and I think that's what America represents at its core. We reject Trump and Trump.
You know, you and I agree politically on probably nothing. And instead of, thank you for one person clapping for me, But you know what? When I knew you were coming on, I love your wife because your wife,
least I married well.
she has this incredible documentary called Misrepresentation that came out when I was in my early 20s, and it's actually a documentary that I've told other women in media to watch because it focuses on when I'm sitting here, we're sitting here, and a woman says something that's aggressive or political, or I ask you a hard political question, it will be covered in a different way than if a man asks you a hard political question.
Yep.
That documentary came out a while ago. I don't think that much has changed.
No.
What do you think the problem is, and the problem that your wife's so duly focused on in her documentary?
First of all, thank you for acknowledging. I married a rock star. I'm so blessed by my wife.
You're a rock star.
No, hardly, but she really is, because she's getting the core of all of these issues, which goes to the issues of toxic masculinity, which goes to the issue of hyper masculinity, which goes to explaining a lot of the politics that exist today. But what she has fundamentally posited is the following. I think it's a response to your question. That is, we don't value in society what we feminize. And what we feminize is care, collaboration, and empathy. And think about a society that doesn't value care, doesn't value empathy and collaboration. And that goes to the core of the issues we're having in this country. And by the way, the biggest issue we're having in this country, the crisis of boys. The fact is, I would argue the most dangerous words in the English language are man up, be a man. Don't be a sissy.
Right.
And we hear that all the time. And what happens is that young child puts a mask on and their face grows in it to become how society expects them to behave. And what we have as a society is a crisis of suicides, disproportionately men, issues related to dropouts and binge drinking, all these issues, one thing in common, including mass shootings, men.
Well, would you tell her for me?
Okay.
I hope she doesn't follow up to it, because I don't think that much has changed, and it's a really important documentary. And I'm glad I saw it when I was in my early 20s.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you.
Yes. You're going to be running for president?
No.
You.
It's good not to have a presidential candidate.
Not this time around.
2024 pick.
Thanks to Governor Gavin Newsom, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Next week, Marcia Clark brings her view to the Hot Topics table. And fresh off her spectacular buzzed about wedding, Priyanka Chopra Jonas is hanging with the ladies. Then, he was fired by the Trump administration. Now, what will Preet Bharara say when he comes to The View? And Friday, a View exclusive. Her husband did the unthinkable. Monday, legendary prosecutor Marcia Clark weighs in on the hottest legal topics, from the college admission scandal to R. Kelly's sexual abuse allegations, and if her new series, The Fix, was inspired by the O.J. trial. Plus, a brand new Oprah edition of View Your Deal.
Welcome back. So believe it or not, we have time for one small hot topic. You may think that going on separate honeymoons is a big red flag for the marriage. Believe it or not. Some couples told the New York Times that's exactly what they did. Is it even a honeymoon if you're going on separate vacations? Isn't that an oxymoron, separate honeymoons?
Is this right after the wedding?
Right after the wedding. It's a honeymoon.
Good luck with
Why?
that marriage.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
Well, look, I think a lot of people...
Yeah.
Did you do this?
My husband and I have been in the biggest fight for the past 6 months over the fact that he's leaving me for 10 days when I'm 30 weeks pregnant. He's going on a golf trip. Now I can shame him on national television. I have cried about it. I've threatened him.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I could never leave for 10 days.
Yeah.
And it's been this argument. He's going with his dad and his brother. It's a bucket list thing. I'm happy for him, but I'm also irate about it. I'm sorry, but women can't get away with leaving for 10 days and leave the dad by himself.
Especially
That's
when
what
you're
rarely
part
happens.
about where you're happy for him. Let's try the happy
I'm
thing.
so happy for you, honey. Enjoy every day that
Well,
you're
who's
gone.
going to be with you in case you pop?
You!
I'm going to call you guys.
Fine.
I have all your numbers.
Megan, you'll take care
Be
of
on
this,
call
right?
I
that
promise
week.
I'll take care of her. Yeah.
Megan is a midwife on the side. Did you know that?
I can't even nurture my cactus.
And you haven't even taken your honeymoon yet.
No, because, hell, I have to work and pay for that wedding.
But don't you want to do what you want to do on your honeymoon, like one of the reasons why Ben and I got married, hands down, is because we like the exact same things. So I wanted to go to Montana for our honeymoon and go shooting and archery and fishing.
He's very cute.
Thank you. He's a cowboy. I love my husband. But I'm just saying, part of being together as a couple, even when we hate each other and we're fighting, we still like to do the same things.
That's good.
So I always want to hang out. So on our honeymoon, I specifically was like, I found a man who will go fishing with me, shooting with me, will get dirty with me outside, and then we can, go on our honeymoon together, and it'll be fun.
It's pretty simple.
I think it's important.
If you don't want a vacation with the person that you just married, you probably shouldn't marry that person.
You shouldn't have gotten married.
Like, don't get married in the first place.
I agree. Separate vacations are okay.
Getting
but
married
that's
after
it.
years of living together, you almost need a vacation from that other person.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they've been together.
That's the problem.
You
But
came
don't
here
call it a
2 days
honeymoon.
later.
No.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you got married at 22. I'm getting married at 47. Of course, I'm going to work.
Okay. All right.
There you
We'll
go.
be right back.
When we say it's Feel Good Friday on View Your Deal, we really mean it today because we partner with vendors for at least half off products you will love using every day. It's only while supplies last, so let's get shopping with lifestyle expert Greta Monahan.
Oh
my gosh.
This is all about comfort this week.
Yes.
Making everybody comfortable, feeling good. And this is called True Medic. It's an Insta-Shiatsu neck and back massager. It's incredible because this is the first massage that I can honestly say you can take anywhere and do anywhere. So you put this around your neck.
To try this.
Oh, it's amazing. You put it on. It has 3 speeds. It actually has heat built in.
Okay.
And you just go to work. Push the on button and take a look. You're going to love it. Put your arms in, that a girl, and you get to whatever level you love. You can actually 3-speed settings. Come on. Don't fall asleep on me. It's incredible. It relieves
Can I use this on the show every day?
Yes, you need it. We're going to give you all one in a rechargeable battery. Original price on these, Sunny, $170. Today's deal, $50. It's less than one single massage.
Oh my God.
And it goes everywhere. Okay, you're going to love this. Oh, wake up.
I'm getting one for joy.
You gotta love it. Fusion belts. Okay, so these are stretch belts that you're also gonna love. I brought you this, but I know you're too relaxed. These are comfortable belts, and you add pockets to anything. You know how you always wish your leggings, your favorite leggings had a pocket?
Yeah.
Well, this is smooth and bulk-free, and it goes right around the waist of any legging or any pant that you wanna have 2 nice large pockets for.
Wow.
Zip up your valuables and go, hands-free. Original price on these, $30. Today's deal, $15. Half off for us. They come so cute. Okay, another one, Vivian Lew. I love, now I have to lower back. Vivian Lew, so this is weight shifting heel and cupping insoles. What it is they're designed by a podiatrist to prevent high heel pain, which you and I need, and discomfort in flat shoes. I'm bringing you a few different types, 3 different. First, you wear your heels longer without discomfort because the insole shifts your weight. And it shifts it off the ball of the foot. The next one for flats are these heel cups. See, so that actually softens that flat-footed feel, gives you that comfort all day long. And the new option is for the fellas, for dress shoes, which Ricky was like, I need those. Original price on these, $29 to $49. Not today, $14.50 to $24.50 to have comfortable, great feeling feet all day long.
This just got such a good knot up my left shoulder. Wow.
I love it. Okay, now you're gonna love this. So Aruba Aloe. You know aloe is incredible. It comforts, it's so comfortable for the skin. It's amazing soother, natural. This is an entire skincare collection made from aloe, hand cut from Aruba, okay? More than 15 options. I brought you the Luxe Foot Cream, one of my favorites, because it's got a hint of mint. I don't just put it on my feet, by the way, I put it on my legs because the cooling action is amazing.
Smells good.
I also am obsessed with their After Sun Skin Repair because it soothes the skin, and the Ultra Intensive Aloe Cream is a bestseller. Rich, dry creams that really heal. Original price on this collection is $6 to $64. Today's deal, $3 to $32.
Nice.
Half off. Now I'm getting my lower back.
Wow.
Okay, 30A, you're gonna be obsessed with these because it's not just a cute, feel how soft, unbelievably soft sweatshirt. These are made, Sunny, from recycled bottles.
Oh,
So
I like that.
They are 50% plastic bottles, if you can believe it, and 50% cotton.
Okay.
But the fabric, feel how soft
So
they are.
soft.
So I love it because we can feel good even when we're lounging, and these
Yes.
colors are super saturated, great cuts to them, crew necks, quarter zip, full zip, and the sizes are small to triple X,
Wow.
which is incredible. Okay, original deal on these, $54 to $65. For the Eco sweatshirt, it is $27 to $32.50, savings half off.
I can't believe this has like recycled
I know,
bottles.
and
That
I'm
is
telling
amazing.
you, oh, and I meant to tell you those fusion bands for your waist
Yes.
come sizes extra small to 4XL.
Amazing,
Great
amazing.
sizes.
Well, our thanks to Greta Monahan. The clock is ticking, people. You have 24 hours to grab any of these exclusive deals at viewyourdeal.com. Members of our audience are going home with gifts from Aruba Aloe and Fusion Belts.
Yeah.
Have a great day, everyone. And take a little time to enjoy the view. A borough councilman from